So now a few details to the water system in the Shay 2 truck. As I had described in the video, I built this water tank in the style of this Shay locomotive. And the tank which I soldered is made of brass and has the same level like the Shay tank inside, but this is a pretty small tank, as you can see. So I decided to make a bigger one and to bring it as a tender in the back of the Shay locomotive. As you see, the level of these two tanks are almost the same high. So it's even a bit higher, so the water flows down into the smaller tank, and there is at the bottom of the locomotive, between the wheels and the back, there is a wheel-driven water pump. It pumps water during the driving up here. One pipe goes via this clock valve, directly feeds water into the boiler. On the other, there's a splitting here where the other tube goes in the side here up to the tank, and the excess water opening this valve here goes into this small tank. So using this valve, if you open it, you can regulate the amount of water which goes into the boiler, or even as a backflow goes into the small tank. If you close it, this valve, all the water goes into the boiler. There's another way to feed water into the boiler, and this is by taking advantage of this steam-driven water pump. The water is coming here on the low level here from the tank via this tube behind the cylinders on the bottom of the platform, and goes then into the water pump and is pumped directly into the boiler via this clock valve. In between, with the T piece, there is a connection to an external valve. This valve is very important because if you start this steam pump, first of all you open this valve, and then the air which is stuck here into the bottom of the water line is pumped directly outside of the system. And as soon you have done it, this pump is full of water and then can generate the right pressure to pump the water against the boiler pressure. This is very important. If you don't get rid of the air in this system, there will be no pumping at all. But I had described these things in a separated video already. So now I show you the pumping via the wheel-driven water pump and the backflow of water into the tank, because this valve here is open. But let us start first with the spinning of the cylinder and wheels so that the pumping can start. So you can see the water is going back into the system, and now I close the valve, and now the water will go only into the boiler. And at the side, let's observe the water gauge if the water level is increasing. As you can see, the water level is increasing already. It is working. So now I prime this water pump. I open first the valve. Yeah, water is coming. So now the water is pumping into the boiler. I made another label there, and let's see how if it is increasing. You can see that also in this case the water level is going up, so also this water supply is successfully happening. I could also add here a hand pump, which I don't show you in this video, but with this hand pump you can apply water directly against the pressure also into the system. This is the third way to supply water to the boiler. This is especially done at the beginning when you fill the boiler the first time, or you need a very fast access. You can then click here the tube of a hand pump, open the valve, and then you can move in the water directly in the system. I have a hand pump for each of the locomotives, and I will also show you this maybe one time in a video live outside in the garden. So the Shay is now ready for the garden. I'm going to prepare also wood wagons, but first I focus on the restoration of another locomotive. But this one is now ready to go.